Well, even as the Continental Free Trade Agreement begins, there are some unfinished business that I need to draw your attention to. Out of the 54 African nations who have committed to join AfCFTA, only 33 countries, have ratified the agreement. As you could see on your screens, these are three major issues. Also, we have no clue about the customs procedures and infrastructure to facilitate tariff-free trade. This is very much troubling to experts, especially when customs procedures are the heart of this single market arrangement. Also, all 54 countries who have signed up to this single market possess individual trade and investment laws. Ethiopia, for example, prohibited foreign investment in its financial sector, a potential breach of the AfCFTA rules. Ghana too prohibits retail trade of foreigners in its local market, another breach of AfCFTA rules. As a result, the Secretariat could see a flurry of legal challenges from countries on behalf of their corporations. Let's put this all into perspective as we are joined via Zoom by the Executive Secretary of the Ghana International Trade Commission, Frank Ajikum, together with the Ghana Union of Traders Association's President, Dr. Joseph Obeng. I welcome you all, gentlemen, to the program.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, let me start off with you, Mr. Ajikum. One may question the timelines for the start of the Continental Free Trade Agreement, especially when the customs procedures and infrastructure to facilitate tariff-free trade are yet to be finalized. This sends a bad signal, no?
Well, first of all, I wish you Happy New Year. Yes, there are unfinished business to do. But the important thing for all of us to note is that for the first time, we have some such organization going on and taking shape on our continent. For a very long time, we've been hoping for some such structure to get started. Luckily, we have it now. And yes, we didn't expect that everything will be ready at the first day of trading. Everybody was realizing that there'll be issues that had to be dealt with later. The important thing is that there's commitment all around for us to get on the same hymn sheet, so to speak, so that we can get AfCFTA of speed. But while we do that, we cannot really sit down and say that we are waiting for 100% completion of all the issues involved, such as the customs and all the harmonization of trade rules across the continent. If we are to wait to do that before we start, we may never, ever get started. But the important thing is for us to get going now. Even as we move along, we look at our shortcomings, the things that we can fine-tune, and we try as much as possible to bring up to speed all the countries and all the jurisdictions concerned. Don't forget, you look at the EU, where they've got into and where they started, you realize it will tell you that this journey is a very long one. It's not a short thing that you expect that at one go, everything will be done. But the good thing and the positive thing is that, yes, we've got some such structure on the continent that is working. And I think we should look at the positive side of it, even as we try to fine-tune all the other things that we need to fine-tune.
Interesting. Well, let me now bring in Dr. Joseph Obeng, because you have also been raising concerns about the unclear rules when it comes to trade tariffs and issues at the port. Have most of these concerns been addressed so far?
No, not as I know at the moment. And it is very important if this will take effect, especially when it's starting now. We should know certain information, especially about the sensitive list as against the non-sensitive product as listed. And the rules of origin is the main factor of the pact itself. And so for now, we should be in the know of the products that as traders who will be in a position to trade in. And that is what we haven't gotten. We know the custom to custom thing is very important, it's very essential. Otherwise, things will come in before they will say you have to be cleared first, whether it qualifies within the rules of origin. So it is still very important. These things haven't been communicated to us.
That's very much worrying, but stay on that particular concern, because I want to ask you, Mr. Ajikum, of course, What does the GITC make of the dispersed nature of investment laws across the continent? Ethiopia has its own investment laws. Kenya has its own foreign trade investment laws. And even that of Ghana, we're having our own impasse with Nigeria. What does the GITC propose moving forward under this new single market policy?
That all countries get committed to the rules and regulations that are set by our regional blocks. For instance, in ECOWAS, we have a regional, in West Africa, we have a regional bloc called ECOWAS, where we set certain standards and certain rules. For instance, in terms of investment, in terms of export and stuff like that. But you'll be told, and Dr. Obin will be best to tell you, that yes, while it's easy to enter some countries with your goods, in some countries it's very, very difficult, even though we've all signed on and ratified these agreements that we've all agreed to abide by. So that it's for us as a people and as countries and governments to abide by the rules that we set for ourselves. I mean, there's no magic wand in saying that one person could come and whip you into place. Once we get committed to doing certain things, we should then see the actualization of it. This demands calls upon political will. You'll be told across ECOWAS that Ghana is a very easy place to deal with because we abide by the ECOWAS regulations in almost all its tenets. Not all the countries do the same. You may ask why. Why is that when Ghana wants to export certain countries or certain countries want to export certain countries becomes a problem? But Ghana, you are able, you come here and you abide by the rules. It's because we are committed to such processes. And we understand that such processes are what Africa needs in its forward march. And so we can only appeal that all of us get in there. But sooner than later, in terms of the African continental free trade area, those who do not sign up to it will be the losers because the 33 or so countries that have signed up have given the commitment that they want to go ahead. And so we're going to harmonize customs issues, we're going to harmonize trading issues, investment, and we're going to do that. But I'm saying that these things are not done in a day or even in a year. It will take some time. The important thing is for information to be made available expeditiously and timeously to the various players. I mean, Dr. Bin was talking about the specified list and which ones do they have to deal with. These things must be made available as soon as possible once they are ready. But I can understand that even in high offices, some of these things are being fine-tuned.
Interesting.
So it will take time. And as a people, we should know that it's going to take time. Even as we demand on our governments to see that we get the right things done, we should also know that it's going to take time. And I always give the EU as an example. So we should know that we have a long journey to go. Well,
Dr. Obin, of course, you did hear Frank Ejukum there saying that it demands political will. Of course, we've heard the Secretary General, Wamkele Mene, talk about the need for some compromise when it comes to these existing foreign retail laws. Here in Ghana, you have your own concerns with foreign retailers, Nigeria and that. But we're looking at the bigger picture. We've seen the Secretary General, Wamkele Mene, say that countries must, at a particular point, compromise their foreign trade investment policies. This could affect GUTA. Are we not seeing a point in view where we look at compromise other than retaliation under the Continental Free Trade Agreement area?
I don't know the context for which he was saying this, but I don't think it was even necessary to come out with that suggestion. Because if we have to harmonize the laws, it should be within the framework that has already established the Continental Free Trade itself. Otherwise, any other thing outside the confines of this pact will bring the confusion that we are already witnessing in the ECOWAS Treaty. So it has gotten its rules and engagement. So whatever harmonization that we want to do, it is correct though, but it should be within the framework itself. It should be within the rules and engagement. And it is as simple as that. If other countries have their own set of investment laws that do not go into contradiction or it doesn't contravene into the Continental Free.
Well, it seems we're losing Dr. Joseph Obin there. But if I could just rope in, that's Frank Ejicum shortly, because you've been listening to the commentary by Dr. Joseph Obin when it comes to the harmonization of these laws. But there are some challenges, Mr. Frank Ejicum. One, especially, most of these countries are much more stringent on their established rules of origin.
Yeah, and I know that not all countries are up to speed at the same level. Some are more prepared than others. Even in our country, there are some companies and organizations that are more prepared to take advantage of the opportunities of AfCFTA than others. But I'm saying that in as much as we wish to get it done, Charles, we should know that countries, we look at what has happened in Europe in terms of Brexit, and it tells you that countries guard jealously to certain things. We should be ready and we should be prepared not to railroad people into it. We should let people come on, even as we try to push forward. And as I've said, I've given you an example of what happened even in ECOWAS, that has been long existing for so many years, where agreements are reached, and across countries, some countries deny access to the very protocols that they are assigned to. So yes, some are ready, some are not as ready, some are not ready at all. But the important thing is that the authorities do realize this, and we are trying to bring things up to speed.
Great.
And it will be done timelessly. And I can see that even as we started trading now, there will be problems at the ports. There will be problems as we try to export to other countries. And those things are going to happen. In terms of harmonization, have we reached standards that is acceptable across board to all countries and all custom unions? Have we agreed on all those taxation issues? We have a fair idea how we want to proceed.
Great.
And,
Dr.
we should look at the upside of it and keep on with it.
Great. Dr. Obin, it seems we lost you there, but I believe your connection is much more better now. How do we harmonize existing trade and investment laws across all boards so we ensure that there are more winners than losers in this single market policy?
Yeah, harmonization, yes, but it should be within the framework that establishes the protocol itself. It shouldn't be anything outside the framework. Otherwise, it will lose its essence. And so we have the rules and engagement that all countries have to follow. And that one should be strictly abided.
Okay.
And the fact that other countries will still have their investment laws, when they are not in contradiction or it doesn't contravene with that of the continental free trade.
But what if it contravenes? What if it contravenes? What if their existing laws contravenes with that of the single market?
Then, of course, this is a pact that we signed. Then we have to abide in it. That's all that I'm saying. Okay. So that if we have to harmonize, then we are doing it to conform of all what we've all agreed to go with. And anything outside that, people, countries are not going to relax their laws because of the continental free trade, if it doesn't contradict. And that's all that I'm saying. Great. So we should harmonize, yes, but it should be within the framework itself.
We're so grateful, Dr. Obin, for your inputs there. I want to end with that's Frank Ejicum, the Executive Secretary of the Ghana International Trade Commission. At the end of it all that matters is that there is a uniformed disbursement of trade and investment. How do we ensure that there are more winners than losers, especially as we kick off the Continental Free Trade Agreement area?
The issue about that is why we should, even as we hasten, we should go slowly to make sure that there are more winners than losers, because certainly there are going to be winners, there are going to be losers. As I've said, there are countries that are much more ready. There are others that are not too ready. There are countries that are more advanced in their production processes, in their exploitation processes than others. Others are ready to go, others are not too ready. The important thing to do is that even as we try to bring everybody on board, we try to make sure that the processes do not, in a way, disenfranchise or make some people feel that they are the lesser countries on the continent. Okay. And having that in mind, already there are 3 stages of the trading process, where as we begin, there are certain percentages that are set aside for certain countries which are believed to be less developed on the continent who are going to come on board fully at a certain time. They've given a certain extent of time to put in place certain measures that would enable them to come up to speed. And so all these have been taken care of, and having judged from the fact that not all of us can be on the same level at the same time when we begin.
Mr. Frank Ojukwu, we're so grateful for your input. He is the Executive Secretary of the Ghana International Trade Commission. Also, who joining us was the President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obeng. We're so grateful, gentlemen, for your time.